Good morning, everybody. Welcome to MarketStream.live and the Overnight Action Report, where we take a look at everything that occurred in Asia overnight. Why is that important? Well, that's 10 to 25% of your portfolio that was working while you were potentially sleeping. Some of us stay up a little bit later. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group Securities offered by MoneyBlock. Let's jump right in and, off the bat, it was a tight, choppy range, but no volatility in the Asian markets. Even though there was some headlines, we really haven't seen a lot of movement. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at Japan, let's take a look at the Nikkei. Really tight range, as you can see overnight. It was up 50 points. That's good for a 0.25% to the upside at 19,919.80. What's notable here is that you continue to see that the yen currency, you can look at the FXY, or you can actually look at the pair. The yen continues to stay weak. Now, that catalyzed the market enough to get it up 0.25%, but it really didn't get participants in Japan moving to the upside. We did see some headlines on a notable stock, Toshiba, been under pressure for months. And there was some headlines that were coming out that Toshiba's part of its memory unit, as a matter of fact, about 20% could potentially be purchased by Sharp and Honhai. This could be a potential group purchase of about 20% of their memory unit, and so the stock was down about 12%. So we'll watch that closely on the U.S. Open. But again, the catalyst right now in Japan, not so much the data as much as it is the weakness in the yen has allowed the participants to continue to be at least bid in the market. But you can clearly see that the market right now is grinding up here. And it's above its 20 and its 50-day moving average, right? And that's what we discussed. These are just levels that we know, if this market is trading above these levels, we know that the bulls are in control. A challenge of these levels, though, in other words, the 19,420 mark, that means short-term bulls, and 19,200 intermediate-term bulls will be under pressure. But we need the next catalyst. Other than the currency weakness, what's the next catalyst for Japan? So we'll have to watch the headlines throughout this session today and overnight going into the Wednesday trade. We saw the Shanghai Composite finish up 0.74%. That's been an impressive move for China. As you can see, China has been on a downtrend. As we had noted yesterday, China needs to get above the 20, the 50, and the 200-day moving average. And I want to see a battle between this red line and this green line. That means that the bulls are starting to gain some sort of control. And I'll tell you right now, China is under uncertainty. You're seeing that the Chinese Insurance Regulatory Commission came out. It's the CIRC. They're tightening up and cleaning up the regulations and looking at firms that are basically very over-leveraged, and they're doing this to protect the consumers. But at the end of the day, what they're trying to do is make sure that any leverage shop doesn't blow up in the market's face. They did do a significant repo where they did a 150 billion yuan reverse repo. This is one of the largest reverse repos where they're basically taking in currency from firms. That was a bit of a catalyst because the markets were under pressure early in the session in the Shanghai Composite. That catalyzed the market up 22. That's good for 0.75% at 3,112.96. Again, you're going to want to watch this 31.25, 31.23 is the level that the short-term bulls are starting to gain some control. Hong Kong, on the other hand, down ever so slightly, down 0.14%. That's 35 points to the downside at 25,335.90. Now you can clearly see that it's starting to grind. Short, tight ranges, well above its 20 and its 50-day moving average. Bulls are still in control. What we want to watch here, though, is we want to watch finance and we want to watch the real estate names. But what's interesting is we did see a stock. This is an Apple supplier. Ticker symbol is ACC Tech. Excuse me. This is the company name. It was actually down 2.3%. This is a supplier for components for Apple phones. Watch this one. Apple was under pressure yesterday, just ever so slightly, But Apple has been a stock that has been basically taking the market on its back and running to the upside. It's up this morning, but let's see if this news with the 2.3% drop, is this maybe a little bit of a red flag where we have to do some research. The Sensex breaking out to the upside. India continues to move to the upside, up 0.86%. That's good for 260 points to the upside. You saw a lot of stocks that were under pressure, especially the consulting stocks, as well as some industrial stocks like Tata Steel. Moving to the upside, that was a catalyzer. We're seeing levels that we've never seen on the Sensex before. India is red hot. Let's keep an eye on that. All right, folks, that's it for the overnight action report for Asia. I'm going to be back on at 8:45 Eastern. I'm going to be talking about everything in Europe. We'll see you here at MarketStream.live.